I've announced proposals to change the way around 2/3 of Jersey taxpayers pay their tax. The government recognises that the coronavirus pandemic has severely affected many islanders' incomes this year and has left many families and businesses in financial distress. To help address this, I've asked Revenue Jersey to bring forward the timing of some planned changes to the way many people pay their income tax. This is known as prior year basis, or PYB. If you are a PYB taxpayer, you currently pay your tax bill a year in arrears. So this year, you would have been making payments towards your 2019 tax bill. Prior year basis tax reform was covered in last year's government plan and was due to happen within the next few years. This reform would enable the government to provide some extra financial relief to many islanders when they need it most. The proposed change is also part of the fiscal stimulus package that we announced in early July. Under the proposal, which will be debated by the States Assembly in October, PYB taxpayers would be moved onto current year basis, or CYB, for paying tax. This means that PYB taxpayers would have their 2020 payments that are currently going towards their 2019 tax bill moved so that they would count toward their 2020 tax bill instead. In addition, their 2019 tax bill would not be payable until January 2023, and no interest would accrue on the bill. We expect this to help people whose income has been badly affected by the pandemic and by lockdown. Options for paying the 2019 tax bill over a number of years are being developed and will need to be agreed by the States Assembly in spring 2021. I appreciate that tax measures can be complex. To explain this change further, if the tax reform proposal is approved by the States Assembly at the end of this year, all prior year basis taxpayers will be allocated towards their 2020 tax bill and not their 2019 liability. The exact amount of tax they would pay for 2020 would be calculated and confirmed to them, as happens with CYB taxpayers in 2021 after we've received their 2020 tax return. This would then mean that all taxpayers are on a current year basis. Employed people who started paying tax from 2006 are already current year basis taxpayers, and this proposal will not affect you. I do need to be clear that we are not in a position to write off the 2019 tax bill for prior year basis taxpayers, particularly in light of the additional COVID-19 related costs the government has had to meet over the last few months. Such a move would also not be fair to former prior year basis taxpayers who have already paid off their tax liability, or to current year based taxpayers. We are writing to all PYB and CYB taxpayers over the next week to provide them with information about the proposed reform. We are also asking for feedback on the proposal and the payment options that would be available for PYB taxpayers to choose from for the payment of their 2019 tax bill. There will be an online survey at gov.je/tax reform, and paper copies will also be available at parish halls, at the library in St Helier, and at Citizens Advice. I'd encourage you to share your views with us. Thank you.